Go back to here. Hello, it's me. And update the text. This is a tutorial how to drive the class 150 DMU. Right, ignore the scenario specifics. We're not here to play the scenario. Right, ignore that as well. Right, so when you're driving this, I'm going to disconnect the rail driver so that doesn't get in the way, which is why the AWS went off there. Hold on. Well, let me get rail driver switched off. Right, that's rail driver out of the way. So when you're driving the 150, there's a few things you need to get done in the right sequence to get everything set up. The most important thing is the key. Put the key in and you're okay. And then you can put it in forwards, and I already reset the AWS. Normally you get an AWS alarm coming off now. There you go. So there you go. That's the AWS alarm. Press Q to acknowledge that. Now, if I look down here, you've got marker lights. So let's look out the front. Right, this is the front. So marker lights are the square ones on the side, which I don't think this train has actually. But on other trains, you've got marker lights, vertical ones here. Then you've got your left and your right headlights, and you've got tail lights. So if I turn the marker lights on, you see these go white, but the red light is also switched on at the moment. We've got instrument lights here, which turns on your instrument lights. Tail lights turn off, which means I've now got the white. So if you've got the other version, so I'll fire up the other one in a minute, there's a vertical bar here, which is your markers. So on the first Great Western one, it's actually subtly different. So we've done the markers, the instruments, the tail lights. Put the destination indicator on. Destination indicator is up here. Use F8 to cycle it round, and F7 to go the other way. So you can press F8 and hold it and say where you want it to go. You've now got your headlights, so if you press and hold and release, then it will switch to right, and what that is your daytime lights. If you press and hold again, if you just click it, it'll go to left, which is your nighttime lights. It takes a bit of time to get the hang of how you actually make that work, but that's your daytime lights. Now it's 7:25 AM. I'm just going to call it daytime lights. That'll do. There's also this thing called compressor speed up. I'll get to that in a minute. If I remember. I'll try and remember. Right, what else have we got? So if we want to get this thing moving, you're going to want to... You've got it in DRA forwards. Let's pretend that we're okay to go now. We've done all the passengers and so forth. First thing we need to do is DRA. You must do that. We also should do an NRN test. It's completely aesthetic. Right, now, throttle's off, brake lever. So the brake lever is notched. So if I release the brake, you can see the brake gauge come off. Now this brake gauge, if I press it on step 1, step 2, step 3, so you can see how it's changing. Note also that as the brake cylinder gets released, it's taking air out the main reservoir here, and if I keep applying and releasing, when I release it, main reservoir goes down again. Yep, and main reservoir gets too low, you can't release the brakes. That's a bit of a problem. So what happens then is that you need this compressor thing. So if we take it out of forward gear, you hear the engines roaring up there. We can't because there's an HST leaving at the moment, but you can see down here the RPMs have gone up. And what that's doing is it's actually making it to where this is going to go up a bit faster than normal. Right, if I click it off, you can hear it dropping down. Click it on. Yeah, so this is just making the compressor. So if you find your air is a bit low, make sure you're in neutral and you can put the compressor status on. So anyway, we release the brakes. It's raining. Down here you have got a number of different wiper speeds to pick from. You've got fast, park and slow. So if I click once, we get slow wipers. And if I press and hold, we get fast wipers. Now, when the guard gives you the clearance to go, that's your guard call button. And up here, if you need it, is your clip light. Now, if you also need to have your cab light on. The cab light is here. You also got a heater if you get cold. Put the heater on high. Or put the heater on low. What have you got here? We've got the auxiliary heat switch. Which I don't know what that does. It's just called an auxiliary heat switch and it clicks when you type it. Again, we've got cab light. I don't think anything else here does anything of interest particularly. So the other thing we might want to get going is the wiper, which is over here. So if we click that, we'll get wiper going on there. Again, press and hold for a fast wipe. Left and right arrow to do that. So we're ready to go. So you've got 7 notches there. Put it in forward gear and throttle up. So we'll see the RPM going up. I'm going to do this again with one of the older ones. Use the Arriva one because that's got the other light style on it. Right, if you get wheel slip, you'll see the red lights come on. Cut the power. Lights go off. Now you can reapply throttle again. Let's put the wipers back on. Now don't worry about the fact that this is 400% or 300%. It's just the way it's been developed. Effectively, 400% means it's in notch 4. So that gets us moving. I know I was timetabled to pick up some passengers. Let's just cut the power again. You got start and engine stop buttons. The doors, I think you'll hit. They'll work if they actually. It was yeah. The lights come on when the doors are open, but otherwise than that. So anyway, that's pretty much how we get the train going. If when you apply power it's not working, things to check: key, reverser, DRA. Basically, all this stuff with lights and NRN is faff that, you know, makes it look right from outside, but the train will move without all of that stuff. Whereas key, reverser, DRA is what you have to remember. Right, so let me come out of that, and I will just bring up another version. And we'll do that one more time, just to remind you. Right, so on the front of this one, oh, apparently this doesn't have those. Alright, hang on a minute. Let me find the one that's got one of the older ones. Oh, that's got one. The northern unit's got one. Let's do that one. Right, okay, so on the front now, you'll notice we've got these extra lights. These are the older style of marker lights. So now in here, if I turn the marker light on, you'll see the marker light has turned these two on the outside on. Again, so let's, if we get it ready the way we're supposed to get it ready. Key, reverser, answer the AWS, DRA when you're ready. Let's take it off now, but normally you'd leave that on until you're ready to go. Marker lights on, instrument lights on, destination indicator on. Put the main lights on the correct indicator, and we're just about ready to go. NRN test. Check the lights on the front. We've got marker lights still on. Oh, tail lights off. That's the signal buzzer there. That's the public address call button. That's your signal buzzer. Sorry there. So now we've got the lights set correctly. NRN test is completing. That's it, we're just about ready to go. 2 horns, space and B. Right. There's your buzzer. Right, release the brakes. Watch that come down. Put the throttle on. And off we go. See, you hear the RPM going up. If you haven't put the key in or DRA's on, you'll hear the RPM doesn't go up. And that's the first sign that you've not done part of the setup. Don't forget F7 and F8 allow you to change this around. And what that in destination light does is turn that on and off. Yeah, so I'm pressing the L key to operate that switch. No passenger view on this one. So this is the what route is this? I haven't a clue. Darlington. So we're on the old Newcastle East, Newcastle to York ECML by the looks of it. So that's basically all there is to describe about operating this one. I think. Hope that made sense. Don't forget the clip switch, the clip light over here. Oh, we're not playing the scenario, we're just driving. Q to acknowledge AWS. Don't forget the sunflower is over here. And that's a red light. The other thing is with this one, if you slide to a stop any more than normal, then you'll actually put a... so if I change to the other end now, what you'll actually find is that the loco gets a flat spot. So remember, key, reverser, AWS, DRA, release the brakes, put the throttle on. And you'll find that if you slam it to a stop, you'll create a... has this got a DSD? I don't know if it's actually got a DSD. That might be something this one doesn't actually have. Radio's now active. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. I'm now out of signal territory, so I can't convince it to go any further. I was hoping I could get up to a nice run up, slam the brakes on, and give you a nice look at the... so you can hear the fact that you get the flat spot. Shazan, yeah, when you get a flat spot, you can hear it. You really do. Cheetah, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Right. Robert Lanny, I've done a tutorial on the 73 already, actually. If someone can post a link for that one. X Painkiller, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Okay, that's it for toilet tutorial on the Class 150. It's time to move on. So let's put it back on changing route, and we are going on to, I can't remember, something else.